What is up, guys? This is Tcg Sam here, and in today's video I'm coming at you guys with a Shaddoll branded Dogmatika tier element test hand video. If you guys haven't checked out the deck profile, be sure to do so. It's already up on my channel. I'll leave a link in the description below so you have an idea of what I'm playing in the deck and what I have access to. But yeah, without any further ado, let's just finish shuffling up. And like our other test hand videos, we will be doing one going first and one going second test hand. So starting off with our going first test hand, we're going to be opening Shaddol Fusion, Nadir Servant, Ultimate Slayer, and Fallen of Albaz. So you're going to be like, this hand is a bit awkward going first, I can't lie. But just the single Nadir Servant is going to be actually able to do us a lot of good. So we're going to start off with the Nadir Servant, sending the copy of Applone to the graveyard, adding ourselves a copy of Dogmatika Ecclesia the Virtuous. That's going to trigger the effect of Applone, and in this situation, since we have no Shaddolls in our hand and no way to fuse on our opponent's turn as of the moment, what we're going to do is actually just set up a Shaddoll Schism play. Since we are going to get the Applone as a Shaddol name in the graveyard, we're going to be able to fusion summon at worst a copy of Construct and get our play started like that. The point is, like, Schism is probably just the best one to search here because we just don't have access either way to like a Shaddoll monster or like a fusion spell. So we're going to add this. We do have to discard a card from our hand to the grave, so I would just personally get rid of the Shaddoll fusion because whatever fusion you summon is going to be able to add it back. And then from here, we are going to normal summon the Ecclesia. Ecclesia searches our Fleur-de-Lis. And then from here, yeah, it's a bit underwhelming, but you can say we quote-unquote bricked with this. But I guess this just goes to show how powerful a single copy of Nadir Servant can be. Because at worst, once we negate our opponent's monster with Fleur-de-Lis, we can banish these two, summon out a copy of Construct, so send a light monster our opponent controls to the grave. Construct gets our Shaddolls play started, so like for example, we can send a Wendy. Wendy can set a copy of Beast or Hedgehog from our deck and then just get started from there. And then we have Nadir Servant and Ultimate Slayer for follow-up. So yeah, a little underwhelming, I guess, but I guess that just goes to show, like, even when the deck quote-unquote bricks, you're still able to do something. Since that going first test hand was actually super short, I decided I'm going to be showing two going first test hands, hopefully a little more exciting this time. But yeah, we're going to finish shuffling up and go straight into our second going first test hand, which is going to consist of Trilman Sharon, Wendy, Fleur-de-Lis, and Shaddol Fusion. So here's, I guess, is a perfect example of showing why I think Sharon is just really good in this deck. We're going to be able to start off with the Sharon. Not only can this potentially force an Ash out, but we're also able to just get our Wendy trigger. So let's say summon the Sharon, discard the Wendy, mill the top three cards of our deck to the grave. So this is really good because now we can activate the effect of our Sharon as Chainlink 1, Wendy as Chainlink 2. Sharon, of course, hitting Sharon is nice because we can fusion summon a free Winda, and Wendy is going to be able to special summon any one of our Shaddol monsters. So I would personally just go for Hedgehog because Hedgehog's going to allow us to grab like follow-up spells or traps depending on the situation that we're in. And then we're going to be able to resolve the Sharon in the grave. So you can see that this one Sharon's just putting in all this work, putting away the dragon and itself, summoning out our copy of Winda. So from here, we now have access to Winda already, so we one can't get nibbed, although I don't think that'll be an issue. But my point is, since we have access to Winda, that's already one part of our end board that that we want to end with. Next up, we are actually just gonna activate the Shaddol Fusion, and then it's gonna seem weird, but we're gonna get rid of both the monsters in our hand. The reason being is once we summon the Construct is very specifically gonna send Shaddol Incarnation here to the graveyard. Shaddol is gonna be able to trigger itself by banishing itself and Wendy, flipping up the Hedgehog. Hedgehog is going to grab Shaddol Fusion, and this is sort of the end, like the end board that we want because we just have so many options on this end board. So we're going to set the Shaddol Fusion, pass it over to our opponent, and what does this board actually entail? We have now a copy of Winda, Sharon, Construct, and Hedgehog on our board. We have an Shaddol Fusion. This is going to be a very pivotal part of our play because we have so many choices we can choose from. So let's say, for example, our Winda's, like, let's say if it doesn't get outed, cool, our opponent's not playing the game and we have access to another construct that we can set up for our turn. But let's say our opponent, like, Dark Rulers us or something, gets rid of our Winda in one way or another. So let's say Winda's gone, and we have the Shaddol Fusion back. So they got rid of Winda. That's totally fine, though, because now we're going to be able to activate Shaddol Fusion and turning these two into another copy of Winda. So not only do you have to deal with another Winda, but here's where Sharon really shines, because Sharon is now going to be able to summon either, it's going to summon another copy of Winda if you play the third one, or you can put back like the Winda or the Construct and actually summon out a Dragostapelia. So just that, keeping that one Sharon like in rotation is just really, really powerful. And don't forget, of course, Construct's effect to add back El Shaddol Fusion. So after opponents outed one Winda, they have to deal with another Winda and a Stapelia. So that's definitely a lot for our opponents to deal with. And all just because we opened Sharon. And you can see our opening hand wasn't like particularly the best either. It was a Sharon, double Reshaw Wendy, Fleur-de-Lis, and Shaddol Fusion. So you can see that Sharon just added a whole new dimension to this deck, which is pretty much the reason why I play it. But yeah, so speeding through these test hands, because I'm sure at this point you guys understand what the Shaddol cards do. If you don't, I have plenty of videos on Shaddolls on my channel, so how to play them, like earlier versions of deck profiles, different variants of Shaddolls that you may want to see. So like Trap Shaddolls, for example, has been up on my channel for a while, so do check that out if you're interested in it. But now we're going to be hypothetically doing a going second test hand. And with these test hands, I always say, like, we're not going to assume that our opponent has, like, X, Y, or Z disruption, because that just makes it, like, a little too complicated. But we're just going to be showing what we can actually do with the deck when going second. So, finishing shuffling up, we are going to draw our opening hand of Schism, Dragon, Nadir Servant, Shaddol Fusion, and Branded Fusion, drawing Super Poly for turns. So this hand is kind of cracked because we have all four of our essentially like auto win power spells pretty much. Like if any of these resolve, we're just in such a good position. So I guess let's just say to keep things simple, the Super Poly like doesn't work against our opponent. We're just gonna be playing with like these three power spells. I guess it's a good opportunity also just to show how powerful each of these individual spells are. So starting off with Shaddol Fusion, assuming our opponent actually has like an extra deck monster on the board, we're going to be able to start off by sending Wendy, and then a copy of Hedgehog for our copy of Apclone, triggering the effect of Apclone, Wendy, and Hedgehog. So this is going to trade with one of our opponent's interruptions. Wendy and Hedgehog are both going to trigger. So Wendy is going to be able to summon any Shaddol from our deck. We'll summon, let's say, Beast. And then Hedgehog's gonna add any Shaddol from our deck, and we're just gonna assume we add a copy of Squamata, because that'll turn into any Shaddol later on. But we're nowhere close to done just yet. We're gonna be able to activate the effect of Branded Fusion next, and we're gonna be able to send now a copy of either the Sharon, or we can send a copy of any one of our like Dark Shaddolls if we want to. So we're actually going to send the Sharon here. The reason being is, let's just assume that for some reason our Apclone just got negated or whatever. And then we have an option now with the Sharon to actually do more. So what I mean by that, we're going to summon the Lubellion, trigger both the Lubellion, the Sharon, discarding any one of the Shaddol monsters in our hand. Let's just get rid of Dragon. Activating the effect of Lubellion, shuffling itself and the Albaz away into a copy of our Mirror Jade. And then Mirror Jade, after it's summoned, we're going to resolve the Sharon to put itself back and the copy of the Apclone back. If you want, we can absolutely keep the Apclone on board and make a copy of Winda instead with any two of our Dark Shaddolls. But since, let's say, we're trying to push for damage, we're actually going to put this away so we have access to more special summoning because we still have the Dogmatikas that we want to use. We are going to summon out our copy of Dragostapelia. Next up, since the crazy part is we haven't normal summoned yet, we can also just go like Squamata, Super Poly, discard this, make a copy of Winda, or make a copy of Winda, or not Winda, sorry, but Garura. Garura is going to be able to do double damage because they're both dark spellcasters. It's gonna do double damage. We get both the effects. Both the effects will proc, but it doesn't even matter because at this point the Nadir Servant's just gonna be able to send Entis. Let's say clear the last card our opponent has. Search a copy of Ecclesia, special Ecclesia, and then special Fleur-de-Lis. And then we can also like Mirror Jade banish one of our opponent's cards. So honestly, just a super gas hand. We did have ways to play through our opponent's board with like Super Poly, but yeah. That's sort of just an example of what each of the power spells do. I know it's a little quick, but I didn't want to keep you guys for too long. I just wanted to make this video as concise as possible. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about the deck in the comment section below. Once again, the deck profile is up on my channel. It will be in the description as well. So if you guys haven't checked that out, I ask that you guys do so you have access to the different card choices I'm playing. I do go in depth into why I'm playing certain cards. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.